Welcome to the Glitch Report, your daily marketing botcast. Brought to you by Leadpages. Here are our hosts, Kai and Luna.
All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. We got some really interesting stuff to cover today. So Google, AI, and even Instagram are all making headlines this week, and we are going to break it all down for you.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one.
Me too. So first up, let's talk about Google. Everybody knows Google, right? Mm-hmm. Huge company, tons of money, but they've been having a little bit of a rough patch lately, at least when it comes to ad revenue.
Yeah, they're not exactly hurting for cash or anything.
No, of course not.
But their Q4 2024 ad revenue growth was only 10.6% year over year. So that was $72.46 billion, which again, that's a lot of money.
No, that is.
But it's actually a slowdown from previous quarters. Analysts were predicting more.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what do you think is going on? I mean, why the slowdown?
Well, 2023 was a really big year for online retail, especially in the Asia Pacific region. So Google had a phenomenal Q4 that year, like really knocked it out of the park. So matching that growth in 2024, it was always going to be tough.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if you've set the bar really high one year,
exactly,
hard to top it.
Yeah, exactly. And then on top of that, you've got these new AI companies like DeepSeek in China.
Oh, DeepSeek, I've heard of them.
Yeah, they're doing some pretty innovative stuff with AI, putting pressure on Google's traditional search and advertising.
So new competition.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's still those antitrust investigations going on here in the U.S.
Right. And all of that together creates a more challenging environment for Google.
Okay, but even within all of that, YouTube's ad revenue grew by a decent amount, like almost 14% to $10.47 billion. And the search and other segment, that's mainly the core search business, grew about 12.5% to $54 billion.
Yeah. So some parts are still doing well, but the overall trend is, well, it's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, for sure. But what's interesting is that, while Google is facing these headwinds, AI chatbots are actually driving a ton of website traffic these days.
Really? I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Did you know that a majority of websites, something like 63%, are getting at least some of their traffic from AI chatbots?
Wow, 63%. That's a lot.
It's crazy, right? And the main bots behind this surge are ChatGPT, obviously.
Of course.
Perplexity. Have you heard of that one?
Yeah.
And then Gemini, which is actually Google's own AI chatbot.
Oh, right. Gemini. I always forget about that one.
Yeah.
So for website owners out there, is this something they should be worried about?
I think it's more of a pay attention kind of thing.
Okay.
The average traffic from bots is still pretty low, but some websites are seeing up to 6% of their visitors coming from AI.
Wow, 6%.
Yeah. And that's not insignificant. So it's a whole new world of analytics to dive into.
That's exciting though. I mean, new challenges, new opportunities.
Absolutely. Okay, so one last thing we got to talk about today, and this is Instagram. They're trying out a new feature that could really change things up.
Oh yeah, this is a big one.
I'm actually kind of excited about it.
So they're testing out letting users rearrange the posts on their profile grid.
That is fantastic. I mean, think about it. Now you can really curate your online image, highlight your best content, tell a better story about yourself or your brand.
Yeah, it gives you so much more control. It's all about how you present yourself online, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, it is just a test. We don't know when or even if they're going to roll it out to everybody, but
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, exactly. This will be huge. So we've covered a lot today.
We have.
From Google's surprising slowdown to the rise of AI-driven traffic, and then Instagram's potential profile revamp. It's a lot.
It really shows how quickly things are changing.
Yeah. So for anyone listening, I think the takeaway is, just stay curious.
Always.
Stay informed about what's happening in the marketing world. And don't be afraid to experiment with new things.
Yeah. That's the best way to learn and stay ahead of the curve.
Exactly. So thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the latest marketing news.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time.